Wow. And you know,
I love it.
folks who've been watching this show know that we both like to eat a lot.
that's
and
for
we
sure.
appreciate very, very
foodies.
good food. So we've got the host and the producer of Taco Chair, Gerald Flores. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank
Welcome
you for
to
having me.
Domingo-live,
Thank you, guys.
Gerald.
Good to have you.
And my favorite part of that whole thing is them eating the tacos.
Yeah.
That's my favorite part.
That's how they all start. Yeah.
And that's how it starts.
Which is what we have
That's what
here. We have
So
some
the-
tacos here as
The
well.
first question that you ask your guests is, what's your favorite taco, right?
Yeah, we ask them what their favorite one is because I want them to eat that first in a very uncomfortable 15 seconds on
Which looks
camera.
uncomfortable, that's why I liked it
And
so
then
much.
once that's done,
That
then
was
we get
just
into
raw
the interview.
material.
Yeah.
So what is your favorite taco?
So my favorite taco is just a good taco de asada.
Okay.
My favorite breakfast is chorizo, egg, bacon, potato.
You can't
Okay.
beat
What's
that.
your favorite
That's-
taco?
Mine, I have chorizo and egg and chorizo and bean.
Okay.
Very simple.
Mine is bistec with cilantro y cebolla and green hot sauce.
Complicated.
That's
I
very
know,
sounds
but I'm very
complicated, it's good.
precise.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
that's what I like.
Where did you come up with this idea?
So I have a brand called Taco Gear, which I've had since 2014, which is just apparel, just dedicated to tacos, hats, shirts, and this was meant to be an extension of it. Just some sort of video series I could create that would help tell stories of different creatives or foodies or just personalities, and then we start out with them eating their favorite taco, which kind of just makes it fun.
It kind of makes it like a natural thing to do.
Yeah.
Is want to know, okay, what goes into it.
You can
How
tell
do
a lot
make it
about a
happen?
person by the kind of taco they
The
like.
kind of
So
taco.
what could you tell about me? Since I-
That was nobody says bistec a lot, so that's you're very particular about
Yeah,
things.
very particular
But I
about
think
that.
anyone that watches the show knows how you're very
Thank
particular.
you. And speaking of, that's how you started your brand. You were actually looking for,
Yeah.
merchandise that said tacos or something, and you couldn't find anything.
No, back then there was just the taco cat backwards and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Nothing that I as a Latino would want to wear.
Right.
So I just decided, I'll just make my own,
And
it
you
just
did.
and it snowballed from there.
Isn't that great? Now you've got this is the 5th season. This
Yeah.
is something that you put your heart and soul into. Being in television know that there is a lot of production that goes behind the scenes to make something like this happen.
Yeah.
How did it start? Did you start off with one camera and just went out there and started?
I actually wanted to start it as a blog because
Okay.
that was easy.
Sure.
And then one of the relationships I built from this brand was some guys out of Austin, the Tacos of Texas, and befriended them. And I invited myself to be a PA on one of their. They did something for PBS, a docuseries, and I just watched a lot of how they were doing it, and said I could do this with my brand.
Yeah.
And I just keep learning and learning. And that's the thing. I was always in the video a little bit, but
Sure.
seeing behind the scenes more,
There you
it kind
go.
of gets you more motivated to like, hey, I think I can do this.
I'm glad that you brought up building relationships, because whenever I go to schools and I talk to kids, and I always tell them it's all about building relationships.
Yeah.
You'll never know who you're going to work with. You'll
Right.
never know who you're
Exactly.
going to come across with.
Exactly.
Befriend everybody, and everybody can help each other out with whatever it is that you decide to do.
Yeah, don't burn
So
bridges,
important.
build
There you go.
That's right.
Absolutely
That's
true.
right.
Absolutely true.
Yeah.
So let's talk about this 5th season.
Okay.
What are we going to feature? Are we going to feature local artists? Or
Yeah, so
local
it's-
chefs.
Local chefs, yeah. So one of our sponsors, which is Four Corners Brewing out of Dallas, I always travel over there to feature someone from there. We feature the taco editor for Texas Monthly. He was on the trailer that you saw. But here it's, Casey Lane of House Rock.
Of course.
creatives.
Oh my
Perfect.
goodness. What a guy.
Different food trucks, the Mos Comida. We've got Taco Bar Street. We've got Lowly Streetery, who changed the whole street corn bowl thing. 2 artists here out of the Valley, Chase and Camila, which has a beautiful brand, and she's a fashionista kind of person. So all kinds of people. I really try and mix it up a bit.
Sure.
Previous seasons had, our local DA now. He was in previous seasons, but anyone that I've kind of have built a little relationship with that I find interesting,
Sure.
and I want to tell their story, that's kind of who gets featured in these episodes.
Have you ever walked into or gone to a taco truck that you didn't know them? You just walked up and
Yeah,
tried their food and
sometimes.
said, "Hey, you know what? I want to put you on."
No, that hasn't happened to me yet.
Okay.
Because a lot of the times too, like the people, the hint there, right? A lot of them don't want to be on camera, so
Right.
you really have to make a good relationship with them first
Sure.
to get them into it. There's a couple I'd like to, but I know they're not there yet. And the last thing I want to do is I want to do their story justice. So I don't want to,
Yes.
half-heartedly tell their story when they're
Right.
real timid about it.
That's true. Where can we find your merch, and where can we see, of course, your podcast? Where
So the brand tacogear.com is where you can find everything. The series, the Taco Chair, is on YouTube. I post a lot of it on Facebook as well. But locally, a lot of my stuff is at So Bonita, a new local boutique gift shop here that my wife and I own.
Yes.
So you can find a lot of it physically there.
Where is it located?
It's Meadowbrook Shopping Center,
It's in
Alameda and
Iverhart,
Airline.
right? Everhart?
No, Airline in Alameda, Meadowbrook Shopping Center.
Oh, okay, Meadowbrook. Okay, okay, I know what you're talking about. Okay, yes.
Now let's ask the next question here. There's a lot of folks here in Corpus Christi and South Texas that have just don't go to food trucks. They've never been.
They never.
I was introduced a few years ago, and I started going, man, there's some really good ones out
good
there.
stuff.
Yes.
There's some that are not so good, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But you know what? There's one. Do we have favorites? Are you going to call out any favorites at all?
You know, they all have their some of my favorites. Taco Bar Street is one of my favorite.
Okay.
Because their arroz tastes like the one your grandma makes.
Ooh.
It's very good. They've had a really solid menu. It depends on what you're going for. You know, Marty McPies, who is not in this series yet, he's making some great pizza out of a truck, out of a trailer. So it's hard. I love all kinds of food.
There's one. I know that they won. I believe it was the taco.
Taquitos Mi Tierra has won
That
several
one.
awards.
They're
and
the ones
good
that have
too.
won.
Really?
I remember when I was a judge and I ate like 1,000 tacos.
And where are
I'll
they
tell you,
located?
I was
They
in
park a
Hawaii.
lot of Pep Boys parking lot is where they park a lot. I think on
Well,
Wednesdays or Thursdays.
Yeah, just down the street here.
Yes.
right down the
Remember
street.
that?
And they have a Facebook and they have an Instagram, so you can look to see where they're at. And they're
Very, very
good.
cool, very
the,
cool.
The mini taquitos are really good.
My experience, El Tri.
Oh yeah,
Yes, I remember el tri.
yeah. They
Yeah.
had mollejas for a while and they stopped.
Yes.
You're like, and I'm still disappointed about that. I'm calling them out. I'm calling them out right now.
Quesadillas, or quesadillas, or carne asada.
Yes.
Of course, it's all.
Oh,
it's all
gosh,
yeah,
all the
yeah. But
But there's
favorites.
so many more out there.
Oh, yeah.
And I guess you recommend, experiment, go out there, pick up
Yeah.
a taco or two.
Don't be timid by the food trucks. Go try them because it's so much work to have a truck. It's a moving
It is.
kitchen
Yeah, it's true.
that they have to keep clean and they have to, you know, they're just try them. You never know what you'll find. And
I
if you
really
find a good one,
believe these taco, no, not only the taco trucks, but I believe the food trucks, period. They really put their heart and soul in this
they
food.
do.
And you can
Yeah.
taste it. So good.
Yep. So once again, Gerald, tell us when we can watch you, when this new series starts, and we can watch the previous ones as well.
Right, yeah. So if you go to thetacochair.com, I made it really easy. I broke it out by season. But all of season 5 is completed, released. We just released, I'm releasing a blooper episode, which I do next week. But they're all out. So all 8 episodes are out. You can go to thetacochair.com, find season 5, and watch them all there.
So we have
And the
these
merch.
tacos in front of us. We
Yeah,
have to show
well, we're going to
them.
have to
Yeah.
but
And
the
we have
merch,
to
once
take a
again,
bite.
the merch we can find at what location?
Tacogear.com
This is
or
happening.
inside of So Bonita here.
Come on, everybody
locally.
we have to
Very
show our tacos.
Well,
we
very
have to
good.
do it.
As
We
we
have
go,
to
as
do
we go
it.
to break, guys,
We have to do it.
we're going to open this up. This looks very good.
And
does look very
then
good.
Looks
I'm
absolutely
going to take
delicious.
a small, delicate bite.
Yeah.
'Cause
Yeah.
I gotta
wanna
put the
be that
salsa. No
person.
one's doing that,
I
but I
wanna
know
be
we're
that
short on
person.
time.
I did.
Salsa.
We're short on
Do
time.
that real quick.
Okay.
How is that?
Virtual cheers to you guys.
There you go. Virtual cheers to you guys. We'll be right back with more Domingo Live as we eat our taco, okay? We'll be right back. Thank you.